part 3, I guess, as long as these get put up in the right order. We come to Bethesda. I guess it depends as well when this uploads. If it gets put into a playlist, I'll have to make sure that this gets put in the right order, in case. The reason why I say that is because this video is not going to take that long to do, because Bethesda really proved this year they shouldn't have had a press conference, because the majority of it was, in fact nearly all of it, was a pre-recorded video. The one positive I have to bring out of all of it, everything that they showed in the trailer is coming before the end of December. So, you know, that, at least that's a good thing. So, they talked about, they led off with the virtual reality stuff, which was just, here's Doom in VR, which of course is called virtual fucking reality, well, basically VFR, because BFG. And then Fallout VR, which basically just looked like any sort of VR thing. The Fallout VR is coming October. I don't think they gave a date for Doom from what I remember, but yeah. As all the big stuff that I was expecting it to be was sort of like, oh, it's just sort of regular VR. They didn't really try and enhance it that much. I mean, they've obviously done tweaks to make it cater for people that do have the VR headsets, but it's not dramatically different where it's like, I need to buy a Vive or anything like that. Elder Scrolls Online, they talked about the Morrowind expansion with reactions from like fans and YouTubers, because apparently that's interesting. Have they already realised that Elder Scrolls Online is sort of because nobody gave a shit of it at the start, nobody's going to give a shit about it now, even though it's not that bad a game now? Who knows? And then the Creation Club. Oh, this shit. Oh, this shit. This could be a separate video somewhere down the line when this actually gets properly unveiled somewhere in the summer. So, the deal here is it's basically new content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. It could be it could be costumes, it could be weapons, it could be items, it could be settings, all that sort of jazz. And all these mods, you can use credits to buy them. Sorry for that long pause, but I'm trying to stare into your soul, because, yeah. They're charging for mods. It's not a case of, like, you know, donating because you appreciate their work. It's you actually... I love the fact as well, they're saying, so this is paid mods, and they're going, no! No, it isn't. Despite the fact, in the paragraph before it, it says it runs on a credit system, of which credits can be bought with real-life money on the Microsoft Store, or the Bethesda Store, or the Steam Store, or the PS4 Store, PlayStation Store. You have to buy credits in order to get the credits that you can then spend to get the mods. To me, that's paid mods. It's not even paid DLC, it's paid mods. This system is flawed as all hell. Because the thing I question as well is, how much of a cut are Bethesda actually going to take from this stuff? Because if you donate via PayPal sort of straight to the person that made the mod, I'm guessing they're going to be getting more of a cut from it than they're going to be getting from this Bethesda thing. So I really think Bethesda might have just... A lot of people felt, you know, looking at the chats and everything and social media, a lot of people are really not happy. They can see through the crap. You know, they're not paid mods, but you still have to pay for them with credits that you have to buy with real life money. To me, that's paid mods. Just because you're not using real money to do it, you're using fake money. But you have to use real money to buy the fake money. That's paid mods. That's paid mods. I know you're saying, oh, it's complicated, it's hard to work out what to do with it. Let it, just because you want a bloody cut of this shit. I don't get it. Then they had Skyrim on the Switch showcased. Apparently you can use the Breath of the Wild, or I think it was the Breath of the Wild amiibo with the Switch to actually play as Zelda in the game. There wasn't actually sort of any real sort of gameplay of it. It was sort of just like, oh, look, there's the Switch screen. I'm doing this action. It's doing that sort of swish. It's like, okay, maybe that's it. That's coming in the fall. Oh, they also mentioned Elder Scrolls Legends, you know, the CCG game. There's going to be a Skyrim expansion. Heroes of Skyrim coming June 29th, so in a couple of weeks. Then the first nice bit, Dishonored 2 DLC, which it turns out isn't DLC because it looks like it's getting an actual physical release, even though, at least in the UK, because it's on the PlayStation Store, because I looked this morning, because I'm trying to get a gauge of whether anything's getting put up there early by accident for later tonight. Yeah, this is being recorded Monday, by the way. You can probably guess that, because different shirt, and also because I'm trying to get through this quickly, so I don't miss any of the other conferences, and so I can actually eat stuff. Death of the Outsider it's called, but it's the return of Dowd, and also Billy, so characters from the first game and its DLC coming back round, I guess, to be in the world of the second one now. That's coming September 15th. From what I remember, there is like a deluxe edition that's coming out as well, which will be Dishonored 2 and the expansion. Because I guess it really isn't DLC if it's coming out as a standalone release. Possibly. But then also, at least listed on the PlayStation Store, so at least digitally, there is a definitive edition, which is the first one, the second one, and this expansion. The first one being the super fancy edition with all the DLC included. I can't remember what it was called. I guess Enhanced Edition. I should know because it's like over there somewhere in the pile. But that looked good. Then Quake Champions, they were just pushing it as esports, which is nice and all, but Quake was successful before esports really became a thing, and people just played it at LAN events. So, of course, LAN events, Quake, they announced that the Quake Champions World Championship will be taking place at QuakeCon later this year, and that from now, BJ Blazkowicz from the Wolfenstein games is a playable character with immediate effect. So you can play as him going through the world. Well, it's not really the world, but whatever. And then the two new things. The first of which was Evil Within 2, which looked very nice and creepy. Shinji Mikami's back to his beautiful craziness, tortured soulness. Sebastian, by the sounds of it, has got to rescue his daughter who he believed was dead, who apparently is still alive. The little tease of the gameplay that they showed looked good. Certainly, on a par with the first one in gameplay. Graphically, it obviously looked better because we are like 3 or 4 years on. The big surprise, it's coming out Friday the 13th. It's coming out in, 4 months? Pretty much to the day, because it is, let me just check, I'm recording this on the 12th, so practically, yeah. And then the closing bit, the weird 50s movie, sort of TV and movie stuff, with all the German Nazi stuff, and I'm going, right, yeah, this is Wolfenstein. So it looks as if we weren't successful in what happened with the first Wolfenstein, because America is red, white, and blue, and German. And the old woman, the villain from, certainly I remember her from the spin-off, The Old Blood. She's back. I think she was in the first one as well, the original one. Vaguely from what I remember. Graphics look very good. It's got the right style of humour. It's got the, certainly from what we saw of it, even though we didn't really see gameplay from what I remember. But certainly the cutscenes look very good and very funny where it needed to be. The graphics were good. I've probably already said that. The title officially is Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. So that New Colossus tease that we got last year was a thing. It has stuck as a title. They haven't decided to change it. And that's coming October 27th. So yes, Wolfenstein 2 is going head-to-head with Assassin's Creed Origins. Be interesting to see what else we get, because I don't think anything's coming out October 13th as of yet. I guess Middle-earth technically is, because it's coming out October 10th, on a slightly different day. October 3rd is Forza. The sports games from EA I don't remember. Need for Speed I think is November from what I remember. Am I trying to rhyme? Probably some of the time. But then that's it. After 40 minutes, that's all they really showed, because then Pete Hines came up and said, that's what we've got. Bye, everyone. And then apparently the people that were live in attendance got a live concert from the Chainsmokers. And that was it. And then Devolver Digital had their fake press conference, which, I mean, the best thing could say is take E3, make a Black Mirror episode of it. I can say that and people will understand it now because it's on Netflix rather than just really UK TV stuff. So yeah, take E3, have it as an episode of Black Mirror, have it directed by both David Cronenberg and David Lynch, and that sums up what happened. I mean, we had people's hands getting cut off and turned into stumps. People loving in the fact that they were covered in blood because they have to look professional. Stock footage of crowds, like in cinema stuff, watching things. And the main host having sort of blood coming out of her face and then her head exploding Scanners style. I appreciate that they wanted to do something weird. I don't think it should have been presented as like an important thing on Twitch. As if they were making it out to be an important thing. I question that. It was nice and weird while it was there, admittedly, but I mean, there you go. So, with that being said, that's Sunday done. Now I've got to work out what I'm going to do in terms of recapping Monday's videos. They might be coming a day late like this one is, or you might be seeing one, depending on times and everything and what happens, you might be seeing at least one today, which I'm guessing I'm going to combine the Intel and the PC stuff together because it sort of makes sense. Mainly because Ubisoft are probably going to be a separate thing, and Sony's definitely going to be a separate thing. That's going to be a big chunk of time separated there. So, yes. Roll on E3, roll on the next thing. Let's hope it doesn't have exploding heads like Devolver. Man. Actually, thinking about it, the end of the Wolfenstein thing that has basically the guy on acid and he's stripping balls. I secretly think that I had that acid and then watched the Devolver Digital thing. Because I still question whether it actually happened.